Hey, what's up, family? Y'all know what it is. It's the grits and gravy, the ad lib that sticks to your ribs, brought to you by College of Material on Kingdom Campus. Listen, man, I'm tired today, y'all. It's been a long day. Day started off with some community service with my students, serving the homeless at the Red Cross or Salvation Army homeless shelter here in Atlanta with some of my students, man. And that's just a great opportunity to get out and serve God's people and just spend some time giving back, on a different level. We do it a little different. We do more than just give students, community service activities. We get out on the bricks, with them, serving alongside them so that they would truly know a heart of service. So I want to thank the shelter for allowing us to come and just add a measure to them today, because they certainly added a measure to us. So listen, man, today, we talked in the last video and we said that we would come back and talk today about the attitude of a student. All right. So I want you to know right out the gate that the attitude of a student itself, meaning being a student or having the attitude of a student, is actually the problem that we're going to dissect today. All right. Yes, you heard it correctly. The attitude of a student is the problem. Why is that, E? Well, the answer is simple. If you look at the simple definition of each of the word student, student just means somebody who goes to school, somebody who attends school. I asked my friends, hey, what's the enrollment at your school? We got 1,800 students. All right, well, okay, you got 1,800 students. Question is, how many scholars do you have? You dig? So what I need for everybody to do is to grab a young person by the hand and let's help them make the transition from being a student to being a scholar. Okay, well, what's the simple definition of a scholar, E? Great question. A scholar is a learned individual, an intellect. All right, that's a learned individual. So I use myself as an example. When I was a little kid, my mom used to brag all the time. I was a teeny tiny kid. I don't remember how old I was. My mom used to brag all the time, that I could tell time at an early age. So I would be over my grandparents' house, my great-grandparents, and my great-granddaddy would come home, big black Buick Deuce and a quarter, drive down the street. He'd come in the house, radio tuned in to the Cardinal game or whatever, family watching Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy or whatever have you. And they would just call me into the living room and just ask me to tell time. I didn't know what time it was, whatever time of the day it was, morning, noon, or night. They just asked me to tell time. So that made me proficient at telling time. Okay, so I was a scholar at that early age as it related to telling time. But it was more than that. It was bigger than that. It was the encouragement that I got and the affirmation that I got from my family members that let me know that there was something positive connected to my ability to tell time at an early age. So I need y'all to do this with the young people, okay? I'm helping them making this transition from just being students, kids who go to school, to being scholars. We're talking about learned individuals who have goals and focus. So how do we help our young people make this transition from being students to being scholars? Well, I need 4 things from you. Okay, I need 4 things from you that are going to help our students in transitioning over from being students to scholars. Okay, I need, number 1, I need expectation. Like we said in the last video, we need clearly defined academic expectations. I need y'all to stop telling kids to go to school and get good grades. You know what I'm saying? I hear that from students all the time. Oh, what kind of grades you make? Well, I make good grades. Well, what does good grades mean? All right, I need something very specific. So stop telling these kids to go get good grades, because when they bring you home mediocre grades and you accept them as being good grades because they pass, then you become an acceptor instead of an expector, and that changes the dynamic of their whole academic trajectory. All right, so stop telling kids to go to school and get good grades. All right, so that's expectation. Number 2, I need preparation. I need kids to go to school prepared to learn. I need you as a parent to understand what materials the kids need in order to go to school and be prepared for school, because one of the number 1 distractions that happens in the classrooms is kids being unprepared for the lesson on that day. All right, so whether it's pencils, pen, markers, Sharpies, I don't care what it is, backpack, binders, whatever it is, Make sure that you're sending kids to school prepared for instruction, okay? So the third thing I need from you, I need exhortation. So I need expectation, I need preparation, I need exhortation, all right? So just like I got the praise from, you know, my mom, my grandma, cousins, Uncle Bobo, Cousin Ray, whoever it was, somebody had something positive to say because there was just something special to me being able to tell time early age, all right? So lately with the NCAA basketball tournament, this kid who plays for Kansas, Wayne Selden, you've seen his uncle in the stands just going bananas with these big clocks on while people are making the jokes talking about Flavor Flav and all this stuff. I need y'all to understand, don't miss this. Do you understand the power of how, I don't know if it's Uncle Jeff, Uncle Joe, I don't know what his name is, but understand the power of Wayne Selden having his uncle in the stands go bananas for him like that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what the average student would be like if they had somebody who was that enthusiastic about their success that they could touch base with or go home to every day? So if you don't, be somebody's Uncle Jeff. Grab a student by the hand and tell them that you're going to be their Uncle Jeff, that you're going to yell and holler and scream for them and encourage them to be the best. They might not be able to dunk a basketball like Wayne Selden, but they can study appropriately for an exam and get an exceptional score, and that'll be something to celebrate, which leads us to our final step, which is congratulations. Pat the kids on the back, have the boundaries, and this is why you need to have stated goals and expectations, so then we hit those mile markers, then we can celebrate that with our students. See, if you go and you get the Jordans and the iPhone the first time around, then what you gonna do next with a 14-year-old? You gonna get them a condo? You get them a car? What you gonna do? So we need to have, again, clearly defined expectations, all right? We need to prepare these kids to go to school and be ready for instruction. All right. We need to exhort these kids and encourage them to do well, like Uncle Jeff or whatever his name is. All right. Wayne Selden's uncle. You can Google it and find out what it was and watch the video. All right. And then just imagine your kid responding to having somebody yell and scream and cheer for his or her accomplishments. All right. And then finally, we're going to have congratulations, because our kids need to know that what they're doing is very important. Students, I need you to repeat after me. Parents, take this to your students. Take this to your kids, all right? I am a scholar, all right? And my attitude and behavior will consistently reflect my desire to learn, okay? Not to attend school, but to learn. I understand that misbehavior not only detracts from my goals and stated purpose in becoming a scholar, but it also detracts from the learning environment and my fellow scholars' ability to learn. In addition, it causes misrepresentation and disrespect not only to my name, but to my school, my family, and my community. All right, I need us to take the time to do these things with our young people, man. I promise. If you take one of them by the hand and be an Uncle Jeff for them, man, you'll see atmospheric change in your school, in the classrooms, in the homes, and in your communities, man. And I promise it'll be worth it. Otherwise, man, every single time we don't do that, we make our own, even if it's just a drop, we make a deposit into the school to prison pipeline. Promise me when I tell you that, all right? It's the food, baby. Grits and gravy, the ad-lib that sticks to your ribs. Listen, the college material apparel website will be coming to you soon, but until then, man, y'all be peaceful. You dig?